We got the trash. We got the trash. Yeah, we got the trash. We got the trash. Our trash is your treasure. We got the trash. We got the trash. The raccoon kings are your treasure. So listen to our trash. So we listen to our trash.
Today we had a special guest, M3 for 8-9 years, Lower East Side, picked up trash for New York City, and then went to Staten Island too. And I'd say he got a little easier.
It got a little easier for him, but we finally got one, Wayne.
What's that?
We got one of the guys that took that test.
Yeah, the He-Man Strong Test.
He-Man Strongman
Nicky
test.
Amato took the He-Man Strong Test for the New York City Sanitation.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it was a pleasure with Nicky. Great person, great episode. Let's talk trash.
Peace.
All right, we'll start here. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to find new friends and to have friendship and fellow meetings here. We ask you to bless this podcast today, and we ask you to please keep us in line as best you can. And we thank you for the gift of your Son who died for our sins. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 All right. That was all right. That was a little shoddy, but
Oh, that was amazing, Nicky.
no, that's all right.
Thank you.
That'll
welcome.
bring us into welcome everyone. Our guest today, Nicky Amato, was a sanitation worker, started in Manhattan 3, then moved to Staten Island 2, and we're gonna get stories from the good old Manhattan Lower East Side today. Welcome, Nicky.
The old. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate this. I got some good stories. for
No,
you.
thanks for coming. How you been? How's things going? How's retirement
Good.
life?
Retirement. I'm driving a dump truck out there. I'm doing it longer than I was on the sanitation, 25 years.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still working. I try to keep myself. Yeah, I know. Everybody
That's why you
says
don't look your age.
Well,
Nah.
but that's
To
the
be
truth,
honest.
though. Yeah, it's when you retire.
Right.
We all know when we retire from this job, it's not realistic to really retire. You're gonna have to do something with your time.
Right.
You're not gonna physically sit on the couch. We do know some guys that do that,
Yeah.
and God
don't-
bless them. But
I don't think they last that long. To be
Don't
honest,
say
with
that,
you.
Nick.
No pun intended.
Oh, I'm not even saying him.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying we know guys that, listen, if you have wealth somewhere else, if you find something that you don't have to leave the couch and you're trading stocks and all that, God
Oh
bless
yeah.
you.
Oh, absolutely.
But guys that are workers like us, blue collar guys, we have to be in the street doing something,
Right.
or else it will get in trouble.
See, I always consider myself a ham and egger. Like I could not work in an office. I can't be inside. I did it out of high school for 1 week. I worked at Morgan Guarantee Trust Company on Wall Street. My uncle got me the job. After 1 week, I quit.
Yeah, that's
I
tough
says,
for everybody.
this isn't me. But the sanitation was always on my radar because my father's brother worked in sanitation. Great job. And he was from the 60s. So he basically told me, he said, look, you got the benefits. You got the pension coming down the pipe. He said, try to get on. And this
leave
is
whenever
all
you
this is all I ever really wanted to do.
But see, that's the proof of like what we say this podcast is about, right? Speak about it every time we do this with someone new, a new guest, a new job. We don't have these kids don't have those conversations anymore. You just said it. Your uncle's friend, your friend's uncle, whoever it is, talks about what they do. They explain the whole thing. Hey, you get a pension down the road. You put your time in, you're going to have money for doing nothing down the road.
Absolutely.
These kids nowadays don't have these conversations. And this is why we started this podcast, to get the information out to people.
Okay.
And it's not like, hey, force feed it, but more so just a conversation about how good a job is that people don't know about.
Right. To me, it's the best. I think it's the best of the city jobs.
Without a doubt.
100%.
What he's saying, well, what the kids not talking about, the only kids that know about it are the kids who have parents that did it.
Right.
Right? And that could go either way, depending on what kind of kid you have, right?
Yeah.
If you have a kid that doesn't want to be a hands-on type of kid,
Right.
they're going to shy away from it. They hear the stories. They know how good it is. So you hope they lean in the direction of something like that. But
And like Wayne made a good point. You can't browbeat them to do things.
No.
You can't push them. You have to suggest and explain to them why you want them to go in that direction.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel. That's the way I do with my kids. Like my son, he's 33 years old. He works for a construction company on Staten Island. Moved back from Pennsylvania. To a friend of his has a construction company.
The money's probably better, no?
The money's good, but he's got no benefits.
Yeah,
So,
that's tough.
and I keep telling him, I said, Nick, just city job, state job, whatever you could do, try to get your benefits. So I encourage him.
Yep.
He can only listen and do what he wants.
I want to say one thing real quick. Congratulate Department of Sanitation. They got the 20-year back.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
very
They got
good.
the 20-year
Yeah,
back.
I've seen
They got
that.
the 20-year back.
Yeah.
And a lot of people probably are very happy about that. I'm happy that these guys got it because
Oh,
that tier 6
absolutely,
was
yeah.
really
Yeah, it's just the pensionable stuff alone is.
Now,
Yeah,
when you guys came on, you were the 20-year pension?
Yeah,
Yeah, out the gate. We
See,
were
I
20.
come on, it was 30.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had to buy back that other 10 years.
And we'll get into that.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
get into
Okay.
that part because, I actually have one in there for that. So, Nicky, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Bensonhurst in Brooklyn, 77th Street, 15th Avenue. Moved out of there at about 14 years old. Went to Staten Island. My parents decided they wanted to bring me and my two brothers out to Staten Island, which was country then.
Yeah.
1969, he built a house, and I was there up until 2001 when I retired and moved to Pennsylvania because both my parents had passed away. I bought the house from my brothers when I got married in '92, and we decided we wanted to stay there, but we were going to leave. We wanted to get out of Staten Island.
Yeah, well, Staten Island's a disaster now.
different.
I don't know how much you go there now, but
I go back.
yeah, it's, and like you were saying, your son now works there, and I started working there again. It's a different, it's like a third world country in some
different
areas.
animal.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
No, it is, yeah.
It's not the same island anymore.
But I'm not going to say typical, but yeah, you grew up in Brooklyn,
Right.
and then your parents realized like we can't raise kids here, and it was the same for me when I moved to Jersey. It was like I can't raise my kids in Staten Island like
Right.
this. There's just too much. They can't play on the streets anymore. It was just getting too bad, and you wanted more of a better. You won't want to say better life, but like a country life.
Right.
Where the kids could have a life outside of growing up on subway trains and all the rest of the crap that goes on.
Right. I mean, and Staten Island got tight. It was tight when I moved there. My uncle moved there in '65, and it was really like wide open.
Well, it's
then
totally different now, Nick.
Oh, I go back.
They did that whole the rent thing. You could put a shed in your backyard
That's right. Yeah.
and call it a 1-bedroom or studio apartment.
And that was a zoning thing, wasn't it? Where you
You never could do anything like that. You used to need at least 50 by 100 for semis to go on. Then they moved it to 60 by 100. Then they moved it back to 50 by 100. And then now the new thing is, I forget what they call this, a name for it, but you could build anything on any piece of
It's
property.
affordable housing.
Right.
They're going to say, hey, you can rent your shed for $50
Yeah.
a month, and you're helping someone.
It's insane.
Wow.
It used to be regulations for parking spots too. That's all gone.
Well, it's once they put in the West Shore Expressway. That's really what took Staten Island by storm. Because then they started bringing everybody out. My father, would talk about it all the time when that was dirt. There was no highway there. They used to race, and even when they started building it, they used to just race cars on it because they weren't open yet. You
Yeah,
know?
up by South Avenue, Victory Boulevard, around the other side, Gulf. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
the good old Staten Island.
Yeah.
So Nick, what did you do before sanitation?
Well, I think I was telling Wayne or you, but right before I worked for Manzo Karting.
Yeah.
It was private karting on the
Yeah,
island. Me and Donnie Manzo, we went to school together. We played football together, and he used to drive roll-off for his father. His father owned the company. Anyway, make a long story short, I told him one day, I said, "Would you be willing to hire me?" He said, "Yeah, sure." He's taught me how to drive. I got my license driving a roll-off, and in the beginning, for the first couple of years, I worked garbage. I picked up trash. I mean, with the big containers on the back with the cables.
Yep.
And then after that, my last year or two, I worked driving a roll-off, which I loved.
Yeah.
So now you had your CDL going into sanitation?
Yes.
So that's an odd thing in itself.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, because a lot of guys didn't have it. You didn't need it.
Right.
So these guys went from driving a Kia, not then, actually, they weren't Kias, but a small little car
right.
into a truck every day.
Exactly.
Picking garbage up.
Yeah, and shifting.
Yeah. Oh, you were shifting.
Learning that shifting. Yeah, we didn't have automatics back then.
Wait, who didn't have automatics back then? Sanitation?
No, just in general, kids that were getting on the job. I mean, other than their cars, and it wasn't the same type of shifting.
I said this in a couple episodes ago. I worked with a guy, Nicky Nicky Dibs, they call him. And he worked in Manhattan too. Grew up on like right where the Chin was, right over in that area.
Okay, yeah.
Never had a license. Never drove a car. The first vehicle he ever drove was a garbage truck. You know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
You imagine?
That is.
It's scary enough when you get into a car to learn how to drive a car.
That is.
Now you get in a garbage truck driving in the village.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
It's tight. But he never had a license, man.
Wow. And that's how he got
That's
the
how he got
license
in.
at Randall's Island.
Yeah.
So how long did you do the karting thing?
I did it for 4 years. I started in 77, and then I got the letter in 81. I think it was January or February to go to the city. So I actually sat down with my boss, and I was conflicted about it. I didn't know what I wanted to do because I was enjoying it. So he says it's a no-brainer. You got to go work for the city.
Yeah, with the, like you said, you already had these conversations with someone close to the family.
Right.
Now you have your own boss telling you, listen, you can't pass this up.
Oh, yeah.
It's what you've been doing for 4 years. Yeah. Now you're going to go do it for the city, get your retirement.
Right.
It's funny, we said, good old Mike Fasano reached out to me yesterday. You guys were close friends.
Yeah.
And I did private karting while I was on the job. Oh. So I used to do my route during the day and then go run for Staten Island karting for, when I first started, it was 7 hours the guy was doing the route. Right. And I didn't know what was going on. We were picking up, like you say, delis, top tomatoes, blah, blah, blah. So next thing you know, I got it down to like 3 hours. So I would tell the worker, the helper, like, hey, meet me at 11 at night. And then we ran till like 1 in the morning, and that was it.
Wow.
But Fasano came up to me one day, and he's like, hey, listen, I know you work for this company. I seen you coming out of so-and-so on Forest Avenue. I'm like, Mike, and there was dumpsters outside. I'm like, Mike, I'm not that stupid. I'm doing this for cash on the side, a few dollars. I'm not, I'm not running the business through Oz.
Yeah.
That's what he had thought, but he's like, all right, I'm just making sure. Mike, he gets a little hot.
Yeah, no, he does, and he'll just keep going on and on about it.
Yeah. Listen, it was to make extra cash.
Oh, that's good, yeah. I enjoyed it, and like I says, I worked there for 4 years. As soon as I got the letter, I got hired in June 15th. Actually, it's going to be 25 years next week that I'm retired.
Okay, God bless you.
Thank you.
Nice.
And God bless you for doing both jobs.
I mean, the guy was working the cable. I was just driving.
No, that's okay.
I was just driving.
Okay. I could have done that.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick, what did you think about the written test when you took it? You think it was hard? You think everybody usually says it's easy?
You're really going to ask me about that?
Yeah.
The written test?
Yeah.
It was easy.
Yeah.
It was completely easy. The thing was, like I heard you talking about the He-Man test.
Yeah.
Now, I took it in 74.
The
sanitation test.
So wait, you took the physical or the written test in 74?
I took the physical and the written test in 74.
Well, they made you take it together?
Yeah, I took it together.
So they made sure before they even hired you that like that far in advance that you could do that.
That I was going to be able to pick up a can and do that.
Really?
But it was crazy. But like I says, I took the test in 74, completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because I was just doing odd jobs. I was working in a car wash. I was just hanging out at the time.
Yep.
I was 23 years old, 20 years old.
You were having fun.
I really was. And I didn't get called till 81, so that was 7 years.
So tell us about the daunted He-Man test. Let's hear about it because we've heard of it. We've never had anybody in here that spoke about it.
From what I recall about it, it was really crazy because they had these cans with weights. They were gigantic. They were heavy. They gave you these steel toe shoes that you strapped on because if you dropped them, you chop your feet off. And you had to, in a certain amount of time, you had to pick them up, put them on a table. Pick them up, put them on a table. There was like 4 or 5 of them. Then you had to run, and they had these 40-pound sacks that were like huge. It was like carrying a body.
Okay.
Felt like you were in the fire department.
Yeah.
You had to throw them over your shoulder, and you couldn't throw them on the table. You had to run to one end of the place, lay them down, run back at another one, run back at another one. And there was a couple other things I don't recall, but to me, the biggest thing I know, guys were working out to take this test. I didn't work out for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a decent mark, but I didn't. They were working out, going to the gym, doing this and that. I'm like, I'm just gonna go take the test. Took it at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. That's where we went.
Any guys? You see any guys really struggle with it?
There were a couple of guys that were throwing up, and it was tough. If you weren't in a little bit of shape, but like I said, I was 20 years old at the time, so
You were young. You were probably moving around. It wasn't like you were sitting on a couch.
oh no, I was playing sports. So I mean, I was it was
So my uncle had me doing when I, in the 90s. Oh, you're getting on this. You got to start getting ready for the physical because he did the same thing. He took the He-Man test.
Okay.
So he has me doing sit-ups with plates on my fucking chest. And I'm like, dude, and then I go to take the physical. I'm like, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Nothing like that.
it was nothing like it. Yeah.
So they did all that though. You had to do sit-ups. You had to do it was a physical test.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They wanted to make sure that you weren't going to drop dead in the street.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
No, it does. It does. But then it got to a point with then the women were coming on the job.
Yeah.
And we'll get into a little bit of that later. I got a story about two of the girls that were in my garage, but they had to make it easier. They had to. They weren't. The numbers were coming down.
Yeah, and then you get into parts like now where, like with the police department, you can't even find people for it. So now if you're not going to have people be able to pass that test, you're not going to find people that want to take it.
Right.
They're just not going to show up.
Right.
PD's having a big problem right now. I know somebody that's in the academy, and he's telling me about people that are in the academy. Mm-hmm. It's not what you think. Like usually when kids go into the PD, police academy, they're in somewhat of shape. People are in a little decent shape. People are like really obese. People that can't do the run at all. And everybody, if we were all there, and I'm the one that's slowing everybody down, I'm making you all pay and keep running. It's not like they got laxed on a lot of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't get hired like that. There's no way.
No. And I mean, I'm not saying, and the job didn't get any easier. Picking up cans was the same 40 years ago as it was when I got on.
Yeah.
And like I said, working in Manhattan, I mean, we were humping cans over double parked cars, and
you also had ash cans. You had a little bit of different
projects.
stuff.
I didn't have too many of them. Only when I wanted to steal weight, I would go get the. I go get
the best thing.
I go get the ash cans at the project.
So what was your first day on the job like?
Oh my goodness. Well, going back to the school, when I got out of Randall's Island, me and Dougie Bertinelli.
Yep.
Shout out to Dougie Bertinelli. Otherwise, he'll be pissed at me. But anyway, because we're still good friends. We still keep in touch. We went right to the district after they gave us our assignment. We wanted to see what it was like, and it's Alphabet City.
Yeah.
It's
back when it was Alphabet City.
It was.
They didn't like that anymore.
No, I heard they really fixed it up.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
So you guys really went through it.
You could say they fixed it up, but in all reality, they just pushed the people out.
Yeah.
That's all they
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's what they do. They call it fixing up.
Right.
They just push the people out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sad.
But the first day, we were picking up garbage, and I was on probation, and I'm emptying a can, and all of a sudden I hear a noise behind me by the apartment building, like a bang. And I look up, and this woman, first floor, paper garbage bag, she just drops it out the window, hits the cans, and goes all over. I'm like, I think I'm going to like this place. I said, I think I'm really going to like this place. It was hysterical,
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't going to clean it all up. We emptied the cans, straightened it out. But I said, I'm going to like this district a lot. And they sent a lot of us there because it was called the toilet bowl of the department.
Yeah.
It was F-Troop. It was F-Troop.
Well, you had Chinatown. You have Little Italy.
Yeah.
You have Alphabet City.
Right.
That Lower East
Bowery
Side
alone.
was
Bowery, yeah.
a shithole.
It was really bad back then. Like, I think Mikey enlightened one of the districts to what do you say? It was, I looked at it as Berlin after the war. With the burnout buildings.
Yeah.
Some apartment buildings were, how can I put it, decent.
Yep.
People were living in them. The burnout buildings, squatters, that's where the drug addicts were. And it was an experience.
It's got to be eye-opening. At this point, you're living in Staten Island, the country.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's got to be fun.
And then you walk into that.
Yeah.
And people don't realize how bad Manhattan was back in the day.
It really was. It definitely wasn't like Manhattan 8 picking up garbage where everything was with a boat on it.
Yep.
And, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
So, Nick, you first get on sanitation.
Right.
You worked private before that.
Right.
What was the big difference you noticed between the two jobs once you got on a city job for sanitation?
Well, I never had a boss following me.
Yeah.
We did the work. Plus, with the privates, I was starting like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I used to get done at 12, 1 o'clock. It depends. But to me, the biggest difference wasn't humping cans. I was picking up big, like you
Containers.
said, big containers.
Yeah.
Put the cable on them, roll them out. They had wheels. Some were a little bit of a pain in the neck. But I never found the job hard, our sanitation job. I never found it hard. I used to enjoy going to work. You know, I complained very minimal because this is what I wanted to do, and I seen the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I knew where it was going to head after 20. Well, at the time it was 30, and then when we bought back to 10, I was like really happy.
Yeah. So at what time in your career, to bring everybody up to speed with that, when you got on, it was 30-year retirement. You had to do 30.
Had to do 30, right.
What year did they offer where you had to pay in to get to 20?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was right before I transferred to Staten Island, which was about 8 or 9 years. So it cut.
So right around like 1990.
It was 89 and 90. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I mean, that was big, you know, and then going to Staten Island, which was like a country club compared to working in Alphabet City.
Yeah.
A lot of walking. But like I said, we were still young at the time, and we enjoyed it. I enjoyed the walking. It was nice.
Yeah, because a lot of guys we know, didn't take that. They didn't pay for the 20, and now they had to work the 30. The job got harder in the aspect of they started really looking into numbers. You know, the city used to put out, just say 30 trucks and go, go clean this area.
Right.
Now they start looking at numbers, and they're saying, we could do it with 15.
Yeah.
We could do it with 10. So now the work's getting harder, not per se the work, just you're getting more of it.
Right.
So, and
Weights.
that's where the change pretty much would hurt guys.
Right. And when I come on, it was 3-man.
Yes.
I was working a 3-man M truck.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah. What was
it like with the three? Like, how did you do it? Does one guy just drove 2 guys loaded, or you took turns?
Well, you know,
So
I'm
one
sure
guy stayed home?
I'm sure you heard stories about the sitting bulls, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that didn't get out. I was a driver. I got out. 20 minutes, and we just rotate. But the guys I was working with, I got to be really, really friendly with the first 6 months, and they knew I was a worker, and they were a little crazy. Some of them were a little bit crazy. They would, they were doing kooky things. Like, I think the first day I got on the truck with them, I didn't see him, but he got a peach basket. He put it under the front wheel. So now when he's going like this, all right, pull up. All of a sudden I start pulling up. I hear this noise. I say, I hit a car. No. I think I'm looking. I hit a car.
We used to do that with basketballs. But let people know we weren't taking basketballs that like kids were like their kids.
Right.
They were in the garbage. They were older.
Right.
And the best ones, we had them on the podcast. My buddy Matt, he was in the Army.
Oh,
So when you're
seen that
fucking
one,
around
yeah.
with people and
Yeah.
putting that under, he's looking around thinking we're getting shot at.
PTSD.
Yeah, so it's but we did that shit. We
Yeah.
always did it. You fucked with whoever was driving.
I know. Well, they got me when I was a rook. I was a rookie, so I dealt with it. But I did it. I gave it back to the rookies when we got more time on the job.
How many years of that did you have with 3 men?
Probably about 3-4 years.
So that's pretty nice.
It was 3-4 years of 3-man. Yeah. Then we went to the 2-man truck, and then everything changed.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
Still using
now?
the M's. Still using the M's on the 2-man truck.
There was M trucks in Manhattan 6 when I got there
Yeah.
in '99. So I know with the long
they
bench.
had- yeah.
we were using it for baskets because them motherfuckers would pack out.
Yeah.
That truck you could put baskets for
Yeah.
a month. That thing never got loaded. Ever. We were putting 18. One day they dumped it was like 18 tons.
Oh,
and it was
that's
just
crazy.
baskets.
Oh, we didn't do nowhere near that.
No, it was just baskets, but it was like say 2-3 weeks of baskets, days, nights.
Yeah.
They never wanted those trucks to go out of commission. A lot of the trucks, then the CCCs came out, the C's came
crane
out,
carriers, yeah.
right? And they never wanted those to go because they pack like hell too. They got the equipment now. It's like child's play. It's a disgrace. They're junk.
Really?
Yeah, they're just junk. There's too much. You know what it is? I think it's just like everything else in your home. The minute you add more electronics and more, new age stuff into it, it kills the product. There's just too many wires dangling. There's stuff everywhere that gets broke all the time.
I don't think the pressure's as good either. The packing pressure.
Well, I don't know if they were able to set that, but going back to the M trucks, they were 20 yarders.
Yes.
And after that, then we got the N trucks. Those were 25s,
So
if I'm not mistaken.
So now you're in a 3-man truck.
Go ahead.
You get word that this is coming down the pipe that you're going to go to a 2-man. Right. What's the feel in the garage? Is it exciting because now they mention truck money, or is it what the Sitting Bull guys got to be pissed off?
Definitely, the money was a big part of it, without a doubt. Guys were excited about it, but see, the thing was, we didn't want to go out and have to do more work just for the money.
Yeah.
So we try to like even kill it. You know what I'm saying? Like what we were doing with the M trucks, some were heavy loads, some weren't. We try to stay as close as possible to what we were doing, but it wasn't going to happen because they were adding the work. They were adding the work, but it's like I always say, we're the ones picking up the garbage. We control it. Yeah. So they could do whatever the hell they want and tell us whatever they want. But comes a time where, hey, we're throwing the anchor out. That's it. And then rule book slow down, go by the book, take your breaks, take your lunch, and then they back off a little bit. So it was a give and take type of thing.
No, definitely. And we had that issue with the steps. Because now we're on the job, 12, 13 years, 14 years, and all of a sudden we're cutting the steps off the truck.
The steps off. I heard
so
that.
like we had that kind of like change too.
Right.
That was a big change for a lot of guys. Who's hanging on the back? Who's putting pipes in the drain line to stand on? I mean, guys came up with...
Yeah, we were doing everything.
Guys came up with anything they could to not have to walk.
It's just part. It was the way the job was going. But they can't just leave well enough alone. They always had a better mousetrap.
Yeah.
They built a better mousetrap, and it never worked.
Yeah.
Because the guys that were making these decisions, they were never in the street picking garbage up.
Yeah, we say that all the time.
That's the comment.
That's a big deal. So,
but funny story about the M trucks when I worked out of this section.
Yeah.
And I was working for these two guys, and they, I got a little bit of a heads up that their scheme is. Well, anyway, load the truck out, the M truck, whatever it was. So the guy saw, he says, I'll take it to the dump for you. Because I was a driver. We were dumping Gansford at the time, over on 14th Street.
Yeah, that's what my garage was.
Yeah, so I said, okay. I said, yeah, no problem. He said, just wait in the coffee shop with Victor, and, I'll be back in a little while. Where'd this guy go? From where he left the route, he was doing jobs all the way to the friggin' dump by himself. Because he didn't want me to know.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it was my first year. I'm still a rookie. Yeah. I walk away from any time they were doing jobs.
But yeah, that's not a bad guy though.
No, he looked out
because he took you out of it.
He kind of took me out of it, but he went and he did it on his own. He didn't even just tell me. Say, look, I got some. All right, yeah, no big deal.
Yeah,
So then he comes back, and I forgot what the weight was on the truck, but it was really low. Like the bosses were gonna torture us.
Yeah.
Now comes in his partner. His name was Victor. They called him the jeweler. So when he looked at the ticket, he says, all right. He said, wait outside. He said, I'll go in the restaurant. I'll be right back. I'm going to give you a number here. It was like 3.9 a weight in an M truck. All of a sudden, I look at the ticket. He comes back. It's like 6 something. He had a way with wax paper to change those numbers on the ticket and make it to where...
Yeah. That's crazy.
Finagling.
Yeah, that's why we call him the jeweler. We call him the jeweler. Anytime you had something that had to be done on the sly, you went to the jeweler.
But they had that for a while. I remember hearing stories that up where they dump paper up on 49th Street, they would weld the sewer caps to the tops of the trucks because you would only get a scale on the way out. So if the truck was heavy, so you dump your load, the truck's still a different weight. Now you're getting that difference. So they think you did your 10, 11 tons, whatever you were looking for.
Right.
There were always tricks of the trade.
Yeah. Well, in reference to that, we had a truck at the garage that had one of the metal plates from the construction on the roof. How much weight? Yeah.
It's like 800 pounds.
Yeah.
I think it's more than that.
That's
a steel plate.
They actually got the construction company to put it on the roof of the truck, and they spot welded it. I mean, guys are crazy. Just go out and do the freaking work.
Just imagine it hits a bump, the weld pops, and that thing comes flying off the fucking truck.
Yeah.
Do you remember the section that 3 had in Mount Loretto? We had a section, it's 37 and 38. You would go take your lunch in trailers inside Mount Loretto.
In Mount Loretto, yeah, okay.
Right? So we had the 2 trailers, and, there's hoses there. The worst thing possible, right? We would be staying out. We'd go there for lunch. The minute you rolled in, boom, hose in the back of the truck.
Hose in the back of the truck.
It was so bad that when you'd be pulling out of Mount Loretto, because it's a little bumpy, all you would see is water flying out of the hopper.
Out of the hopper.
Yeah.
You'd add 3 tons of just water. It would just soak it.
Yeah, there were ways.
Think about it. You're soaking it for an hour.
Yeah. There were ways of doing it, but like just go out and do the work a little
Well, this is
bit,
when you
know?
would slow down and not clean or whatever.
Hey,
Something's going on.
Yeah. The rule book slow down.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like the squatters down in the Lower East Side. So how bad was it with the drugs in the area while you're picking up?
As far as like from my point of view, if I felt safe,
Yeah, like that kind of. Like,
I was okay.
Yeah.
I was okay. Yeah. I mean, there was a couple. We were 2, 3 guys on the truck, and sometimes I even got lucky enough to work with somebody that came from that neighborhood, not in those particular buildings, but maybe on Ludlow Street, off of Houston. So they knew a lot of these people.
Okay.
But the drugs was very prominent. Squatters was very prominent, and like I said, the abandoned buildings. That's where they lived.
So it was right out in the open, in your face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was right there. Used to see guys shooting up right on the stoop.
Yeah.
It was.
CBGB
It's sad.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Humfug.
Yeah.
CBGBs.
Yeah. That's when that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
When you had your own routes, or routes you did steadily when you were there?
Not when I was in Manhattan. I kind of bounced around, but I stayed in my section. I was the 34th section. So I picked up from the East River Drive to 4th Avenue, 7th to 14th Street.
Okay.
And, I didn't have steady route.
Do you remember any like local legends on the route, like crazy people that were like everybody knew? Like you had your common guys?
So, well, there was some guys. I didn't hear too many of those stories, but there was some guys that used to drive around. They drove around in their car,
Yeah.
and they would just stop the car, open the trunk, and start pulling garbage out and throwing it in the back of the truck.
Oh shit.
What's that all about? Like, why don't you wait till we come to the house?
Yeah.
They didn't talk. You didn't say nothing to them. But that's pretty much like the legends that I've heard. They just drove around and put the garbage in the back of the truck out of the trunk of their car.
The only person we had in my district was the Chin. Gigante.
Okay.
He was in my you would see him doing that whole
You
thing.
seen him with the robe and everything?
Yeah, but it was funny because you would see it on the news, right? I'm not from there. Like, I'm just working there. I've never hung out in Manhattan, really. So now you're working in that neighborhood, and you see the guy actually walking down the sidewalk with 2 goons in a bathrobe. You're like, holy shit, this guy's really doing this shit.
Yeah, he was.
That's the only thing I really remember about,
whether
too.
it was an act or whatever, but
So these people pulling up in the cars, were they like Lincolns and Cadillacs?
no, they weren't Lincolns and Cadillacs.
So they weren't that crew down
No,
there.
at that time, I think inspection stickers was a very like light type of thing. So these cars were ready to fall apart. They were ready to fall apart, and they, like I said, they just get out, take the garbage out, put it in the truck, and we let them do it. It was no,
Yeah. No,
It's not
big
worth
deal.
the problem. The guy's a nutbag.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't want to get involved with because you never know what's
well, if you're crazy enough to be driving around with garbage in the back of your truck, yeah, throw it in. I could care less.
Yeah, really, like,
I don't even want to know what's in it.
Yeah, it's one less house I got to do.
Exactly. So how did the community treat you like back then? How do you feel they treated the garbage men back then?
They for the most part they left us alone. Like I said, we did our job, and it was mostly like it wasn't house to house. It was like it was house to house, but it was apartment buildings.
Yep.
So we never seen the people. As long as we took the garbage, whatever was there, but when there was a mess, it was like, I don't know, what are we gonna do? We're gonna sweep this up. We got the shovels, we got the brooms. It depends. It depends on who the house was. Like we've seen older people.
Yeah,
just
you would
like in
always
Staten
help.
Island, we always
Yeah.
helped them.
Yeah.
We always helped them. Put their cans back. But I don't know. It was a different time. It was a different time. Going back to what Mikey had said about the rats. I picked up 5 pails. Well, I didn't pick them up once. 2 pails at a time. The minute I moved them, like 6 rats came out. Now he said they looked like cats. The ones I seen, they had saddles on them. They had saddles on them. It was crazy. So now now I'm chasing them around the street and I got the shovel and I'm start whacking them. I'm trying to You know, I mean, to me, they were rodents. So, but I'm telling you, they were big. They were like little dogs.
Yeah, no, they were. I remember being in areas where it was just, and people would say, "Oh, there's a ton of them over here. There's a ton of them over there." They're talking mice. They're talking little 8-inchers.
Yeah.
You know, when you get into the footage, you know, when you have a foot-long rat running around.
Yeah, now it's dangerous.
Jared's even getting jealous because Jared's eating a foot long and getting paid for it. These things were awful. They were creatures, and you're down near the water. You know, you're around that area where they're coming out of the sewers. They're just no, it's gross. It's fucking gross.
No, it really is. But like you said, with little mice and stuff, I mean, they were constantly jumping out of the hopper.
Yeah.
And they would, you know, like
Jumping on you,
push them away,
run
or you
across
just chase. They run across you. I mean, but because they were in the garbage pails.
Exactly.
Do you remember any story from when you worked in Manhattan 3, like a really funny story that you still remember to this day and laugh about?
Oh, I got a couple of them. Yeah.
Let's hear them.
All right. One of them was a good friend of mine, which I called him. I said, "All right if I use your name?" He said, "Yeah, no problem. Sally Volcano." He
Sal's father.
Sal's father.
Okay.
Yeah. We're still good friends, and you know we hang out together. Him and his partner used to go to the Bowery Mission out of the garage. They would pick up bums, hobos. They'd go on the back of the truck and they paid them, and they loaded the whole route. They loaded the whole route.
Smart.
For how much? $3?
Whatever it was, whatever they paid him. And he worked with this guy Sergi, who was like he was a head case and a money hungry guy. One Christmas, Sal gave to the hobos, and he flipped out. And Sal said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "They're picking up the garbage for us. We don't even got to get out of the truck." Foreman would go by like this. The route was getting clean, and he didn't care.
Yeah, right.
That was it. He didn't care.
Did he at least give them shirts? Or did he just even wear uniforms back then?
You know what? I think he did give them T-shirts. I think he did. And then he says sometimes they'd go to the Bowery, and these guys would be fighting
To work with.
to work on the truck because they were making money. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's insane.
That was one of the funny stories. I got to think. I got to look at my notes.
Look at your
I gotta
notes.
look at my
Got
notes. I
notes. I
wrote
love
some
it.
notes.
Look at your
Guy's
notes.
got notes.
Oh, it was funny, but
Yeah, Sal talks about that all the time on his shows and stuff. His father was a sanitation worker, listen, it's a great job.
it really is. I mean, the job is what you make it.
That's it.
You know, I mean, if you want to go there and not get dirty and like get grossed out by maggots, and then it's not the job for you.
But there's also a lot of avenues. We talk about it all the time. How you can go in an office, you can go on a broom,
Yeah.
you could go. There's so many avenues on that
Roll-offs,
job.
everything.
You know, where
yeah,
you don't have to
AFF.
physically touch it.
When I first got on the job, when they had like out of town, like if I went to AFF, I went because I had the license.
Yeah.
And actually, I worked with this one guy, and he kind of knew me a little bit, and he knew that I did a roll off. And I wasn't supposed to, but I was driving the route that day with the roll off. I was picking the containers up and stuff. It was, but it was good. It was
Roll-offs get truck money now. More than the garbage man.
really
More than the guy picking up garbage. They get more truck money.
holy man.
Well, they're
It's
by
one
themselves.
man. It's a one-man truck now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, back then you're right. It was still,
Yeah, now
it
it's
was still
one-man
me,
truck.
Yeah. Let me see what other funny stories. Oh, we had a guy. We had a guy in our garage in 3, and he used to work nights. I forgot his last name, but his first name was Perry. He was like a garage guy, but I mean, lazy, you know, like whole type of thing. Like slept most of the night. One night he had to go dump a truck, I think, at Gainesville. So he was coming down Grand Street and he was going too fast. Cop pulls him over, gives him a ticket. Pulls him over and gives him a ticket. He was flying, yeah. So what does he do? He drives the rest of the way down Grand Street, one whole block. He takes out all the parking meters with the truck.
Just got him back.
Yeah. Like, well, what was he doing? How was he hurting the cop?
Yeah.
How was he hurting the cop?
I can't
He
believe
took
the
all
cop
these-
gave him a ticket.
Yeah, well, he did get in trouble for that. I think he got suspended. He got suspended for that after they figured out who did it.
I've seen that happen on Staten Island to Ronnie Gorey. He took the right lane on the West Shore Expressway before the Victory Boulevard exit because there was traffic. He was just trying to get back to the garage faster, and there was a cop. And he pulled him over, gave him a ticket.
Gave him a ticket, yeah.
And they gave him a ticket in the garbage truck. I was like, never. Other than that story you just told me, I never heard. I thought that was the only time that ever happened ever on that job. That a cop would pull over a sanitation worker in a city vehicle and give him a ticket.
Yeah, especially not just for speeding, but
They gave it to him for taking the shoulder.
Well, and I could guarantee you, Nicky, that Staten Island 3 stayed out the next day
Probably.
because that's how they did it.
Yeah.
And those are things that, like we said, you go out, you want to drop the anchor,
Right.
You know, you're fighting for something legitimate. There were garages, and not only 3, there were a bunch of garages that would want you to stay out because somebody did something they weren't supposed to,
Right.
and they got caught.
Right.
You know, like we were always the type of people who you catch me, you catch me going down the wrong way on a one way, then nail me for it.
Right.
But I'm doing it to help me and get the hell off the street because I know it's going to get crazy.
Yeah.
In an hour. Like I just want to be done with the route.
You know what I think the bosses appreciated when we fessed up when we did something wrong?
Yeah, it's like bang me, do what you
Right.
want to do.
So another funny story. I'm on MLP on 14th Street, not far from Katz. There was a really good bagel store. And me and my friend Mike, we had the garbage pail out and we were doing a little bit of sweeping, but it was already after break. But I said, you know what? I'm getting hungry again. So I said, just stay out here with the broom and the can. And I says, I'm going to go in the bagel store. Go in the bagel store, I come out with a bag full of bagels and coffees. Who's waiting for me outside? The IG.
Oh,
Now I got the rat squad.
Yep.
And this guy's name was Zagabini. He was a gem, but he's standing in my face yelling at me, what are you doing? I'm gonna bang you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And I'm just standing there with the bag and I'm like this. I says, all right, Chief, you got me. Looked at me like this, turned around, went in the car and left.
Yeah.
Never heard another thing about it. But like I said, just fess up to it. That's all.
Yeah.
You're wrong,
Yeah, they didn't like being lied to.
No.
They wanted to, you got me, do what you got to do. You want a bagel? That's what you should say.
I should have told
I got
him,
a lot
yeah.
of them. You want a bagel?
Yeah, I should have told him that. Damn. That was a long time ago.
25 years later.
Yeah, I know.
So what's the craziest thing you ever found while picking, trash up in Manhattan?
The craziest thing?
Yeah.
We really didn't. Everything was pretty much crazy because of that neighborhood. I off the top of my head, I can't remember anything that really stood out. But we had. Let me think. I know. A couple of guys. They found a body rolled up in a rug.
Really?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know if it was my district or Manhattan too. At the time, they found a girl's body rolled up in a rug. And you had to call the cops. That's to me, that's sad, but it's crazy.
Yeah, that's not, your everyday find.
Yeah, no, that's.
That's what people think we find. That's always the first
Oh,
question.
yeah.
Wherever you're on, do you ever find the body?
How many bodies? Well, how many did you find? Yeah.
And I would tell them, guys, I'm not looking through it.
Yeah.
Like a rug is totally different. But when you're picking sausage bags up in Manhattan now,
Right.
And they're 6 feet long,
Yeah.
I'm not slicing them open and seeing if anybody's in there.
No, with the rug, the feet were hanging out, so there's got to be somebody in there.
It's a terrible job.
they found the body in a suitcase that sat on one. I guess it was so heavy they opened up to see what was inside. It was a body
Wow.
cut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sat on
Yeah,
hotel.
but that guy was just trying to go on vacation and didn't want to pay for the extra ticket.
That's all it was, really. It was
Yeah,
no
it was
big
just
deal.
trying to
Yeah,
beat
but
the
I can't,
ticket.
off the top of my head, I can't really remember anything that stood out in my mind. Picked up a lot of different stuff. But the Staten Island stories, that'll come later on. But you remember they had the Marlboro miles you used to get?
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff from
You had
them.
the bag hanging off the truck and you were putting the miles in the,
Oh,
the
yeah.
shopping
Me and
bag.
my partner, we were like scavengers.
Yeah.
We'd be digging through that stuff trying to get it. And I had sleeping bags, jackets. I got everything home.
You seen that too when we were on the job with that stuff and with the coupon things on the
Cereal
cereal
boxes.
boxes.
Yeah.
guys used to do all that stuff. I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't get that crazy.
Anything to
Mon-
get a little something for free, right?
and then Mungo.
Yeah.
I didn't do it in the beginning. I used to torture my partner, but then after a while, I'm like, man, he's making some good money doing this.
Yeah, he's making gas money.
Yeah,
Paying for tolls. It makes sense.
Yeah, so we used to do it. We used to stock it up and put it in the back, and then he'd make one trip.
I would only do it like if it was there, easy. Like for the guys who were doing it, like breaking air conditioners
You
apart.
did that.
No, I never did that.
Yes, you did.
No,
Me,
I
you, and Fisher did it. 100%.
It was probably
100%.
just Fisher then.
No, it wasn't. It was me, you, and Fisher. We would stack them. It was me, you, and Fisher. The three of us did it together.
I think I was on drugs then.
It was
'cause
AC
I don't remember
condensers and all that
right?
shit.
But you pull up to some spots and there's a bucket full of brass.
Yeah.
Or like copper fittings
Right.
and all that. Yeah, that's easy. It's right there
That's
for
an
the
easy
taking.
grab. Yeah,
You know?
that's an easy grab.
So
So, what do you think the new guys that are out there today on the job? I don't know if when you visit, you see them working. How do you think they would feel about picking up garbage in old New York City, like the way you did it? the way it was back then, you think they would be complaining the whole time
Oh,
about
they'd
it?
be complaining. Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, especially the guys on Staten Island. I mean, it's pretty clean garbage out here in certain areas.
Gift wrapped.
It's gift wrap, yeah. And I don't know. Like, we had guys back then that complained about every little thing. Just the way, they packed the can too much. It's too heavy. We didn't just go and pick
it up.
Pick
That's
it up.
that's
You
the
know,
way I was.
the toughest cans to pick up were the ashes, but we had a system. I mean, you know, when I did do them, that you tip them backwards and you flip them over, and it went right in.
Yeah.
They went right in. Don't put them in hot, which I found out the hard way when the truck went on fire in Manhattan. Yeah. Had to go run to the fire department to get the hose out of the truck. And they put it in the hopper on top through the roof. They had the fitting up there. Yeah, it happens. Stuff happens.
Did you lose the truck? No.
No.
You got it out.
No, yeah, we got it out. Yeah. Once it cooled down, then we dumped the load, and then, you know, they send the front end loader with a cut down, and
Hot trash.
yeah, hot trash. There it is. But
So like, what do people, in your eyes, what do people not understand fully about what the sanitation does? Because we work so early. So a lot of times people don't even see us. Like, what do you feel like people don't get, like, about picking garbage up in Manhattan and those areas, because you don't see the people?
right. Well, I think more in the ritzy areas, I think that's where they're not as how could I put it? They're not as tolerant. Like, you know, when we were 6 to 2, we made a lot of noise early in the morning once we got out there.
Yeah.
And I think they weren't that tolerant. And as far as like when I worked in other districts, I mean, 8, you talked about 12. I went up there once or twice. It was part of George Washington Bridge, right? It was all the way up there.
Yeah.
I mean, every area is different.
Yeah, especially
Every area is
Manhattan.
different, you know. And I don't know. Like, it's tough to say. I think it's tough to say. Like, as far as
Well, they just, in my eyes, they just don't realize, like, how hard the job physically it is, right? Because
Yes.
they drag it out. We don't drag it. We drag it, but then we have to lift it.
to lift it, yeah.
Like, that's what because they don't physically sit there at 6 a.m. and watch you do it,
Right.
you know. And then it comes to when they want to leave. Now you're in their way.
Unless you're blocking them.
Yeah, like that's when it would come down to get out of my way. Now these idiots, this, that, and the other thing.
Well, here's another story that just came to mind. You know, sometimes you go down the blocks and we're picking up garbage. Cars can't pass. It just gets a little too tight. So we had one time this, I don't know if it was a lady or a guy, leaning on the horn, just like wouldn't stop. You know, and we're right there. And I'm like, come on, really? So my friend who lives on Elizabeth Street up there, he's one of the boys from the neighborhood. We used to call him Vinzilla because he was like Godzilla's son. Like, you just didn't do that.
Yeah.
Calmly walks over to the car, and lady or guy opens a window and he says, "You see that button on the dashboard?" He says, "You push that button," he says, "and the car flies over the truck." He says, "And you could go." Turn around, walk away. The person was looking at him like, "Are you what?" Just push the button on there. The car flies. It goes over the garbage truck. Just stupid things like that. But it makes for memories, and you laugh.
That's the whole thing about Manhattan too. It's just people don't understand.
No, they got no
difficulty
idea. You
of
know,
it.
other than the picking up the garbage, I mean, then you had like, if we had a salt spreading, plowing.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a nightmare up there, especially in Chinatown
Yeah. when
when you had to go down these streets. And I did hit a few cars in my day going down.
It's all right.
I'm sure you guys did too.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
I only hit one car in my 20 years.
All right.
6 people hit me, but that's a whole other
Well,
story.
that's not your fault.
Exactly.
So how would you explain to people how dangerous it is to work in Manhattan compared to when you worked in Staten Island?
Well, just a traffic issue. I mean, you always had to have eyes in the back of your head, and guys are screaming down the street, and they think they're just going to fly past the truck, and you got to watch you don't get hit.
Yeah.
You know, then the needles in the bags.
Well, that had to be a total. Forget it.
I was always aware of that, and like the sausage bags, never get them close to your legs and stuff. Swing them if you can't swing them. Cut them open and leave them there. That's what we used to do. They're too heavy.
But yeah, just speaking of the needles, like now when we were picking up garbage, it was, the people who were sick that were using them. You know, they got all these crazy things.
Right.
But like back then, they were just throwing, guy shoots himself up. He's not thinking, oh, let me go find a metal tin to throw this needle in so the guy doesn't get stuck. He's just dropping it in a corner
That's
basket.
it, yeah.
So, and that's,
Somebody just posted something about it on Facebook or Instagram. One of the guys that we know begging people, made like a thing because the GLP stuff now, the needles, they're just throwing them in the garbage. They're not putting them in anything. They're not diabetic, so they don't know the protocol. They're new to this needle thing.
Right.
And he got stabbed. And let me tell you, when you get stabbed, it's not fun. When you got to go to the hospital and you get that needle, it's like this long.
Yeah.
I had that done.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a bitch.
really?
Yeah, the fucking needle's like this big. Yeah. Because I didn't know what stabbed me.
Talking about a tetanus needle?
No, I'm not talking about tennis needle.
Tetanus.
No.
That's an easy one.
I got stabbed I got poked. And they didn't know if it was a needle or if it was a pin. So they're not going to play the guessing game at the emergency room. They give you that shot.
Okay.
It's 2 rounds. You go the first step, you go immediately when you go, and I think you go like 3 days later, you get the second shot. And the needle is like that.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll never forget it, man. And ever since that day after that happened, I always looked because I didn't want to get that shot again. But now it's bad again because all the GLP, people just throwing them in the garbage.
Throw 'em in the garbage, yeah.
so picking up Lower East Side, were there any secret societies on any of your routes?
Secret societies?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. All right, I can say this.
Yeah.
The guys that treated us good, it wasn't my section, but other guys told me the stories from that section. Hell's Angels was on 3rd Street. And those guys, they used to treat the sanitation guys like gold. Because we picked up the garbage there. They would hang out in the afternoon, give them beers and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is at the height when, I guess there was, you ever hear of a guy called Big Vinny?
No.
They had a mural by the Hells Angels clubhouse. There was a big mural of him. Big Vinny's motto was, when in doubt, knock him out.
Okay. It's not
And
bad.
they hung out with the sanitation guys. They were down to earth guys. But secret societies. Well, me and Dougie Bertinelli one time, he told me, make sure you mention this. He said, 100-year anniversary of the Brooklyn Bridge. We worked. I forgot when it was. It was a Sunday. I don't even know what the hell we were doing down there. But I brought my 35 millimeter camera. Me and Dougie carpooled together. We worked it. And one of the guys that was working with us came from neighborhood. He lived on Cherry Street. He was one of the boys from the neighborhood.
Okay.
So he said, all right, he said, come on, we're going to go up on the roof of the building. I said, what are we supposed to sweep? He said, don't worry, put them in the hallway. Put the cans in the hallway, the rooms. Don't worry about it. I got it. Okay. We go up on the roof. The view was incredible. I got so many good shots
Of the Brooklyn Bridge.
of the Brooklyn Bridge with all the boats, the 100-year anniversary,
Yeah.
fireworks and everything. We were there till nighttime. We come downstairs. He said, okay, come on. He said, we're going in. He had the social club there. So me and Dougie go in the social club, drinking espresso with Zamboca. Guys are playing cards. Who's taking bets? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? And we're sitting, and all of a sudden the foreman walks in. Now he knew the guy was from that neighborhood, so he didn't make too much of a stink, but he said, guys, could you please go outside, get a little work done? But Dougie said, it was funny. We were just sitting there drinking this. We had this full uniform on. We're inside in the social club.
Yeah, but back then, like I said, you barely even wore a uniform. You had your orange shirts with the green writing.
Yeah.
You got guys picking up shirts and jeans and T-shirts, regular T-shirts.
Most of them wore the green pants, and then they wore the cut-off shirts. Only when they got bothered. I mean, when we come out of the school, we had the button-down shirt, I had the hat, I had the whole package. It was antler.
After day one, you're like, throw this shit out.
Oh my goodness!
Cops'
After the
family,
first
yeah.
week, then you start cutting the sleeves off your shirt. Then they had a guy. There was a guy that was. Well, this was in Staten Island. They used to remember when they went to the side loaders.
Yep.
Okay, there was one guy he was making these orange shirts up, and he had a picture of the truck in the back. And you know what the saying was? We don't take it in the rear anymore. I'm like, I can put that shirt on. I bought one for a goof. I said, you can't be wearing these shirts. So then it pigtailed off of a guy in Manhattan then. When they got the end trucks, he says, we still take it in the rear. I'm like, are you kidding me? I says,
Didn't Adam Benelli used to sell shirts and stuff?
yeah. Oh, yeah. He was
I
another
have
schemer.
I have a shirt that has a woman on it with her ass hanging out. and it says, "Put out your can. Here comes the garbage man."
I remember going to Adam
Jerry
Manelli.
Artamanelli.
Yeah, but I remember going to like a pork store or something to meet him to pick up the shirts.
In Manhattan?
Yeah, Adam Manelli was the name of the store.
Oh,
Yeah, he was. I think he still sells shirts.
does he?
I think he's still selling shirts. He still drives around to garages. He's retired now.
Yeah.
Did his 40 or something, 38 or whatever it was. And I think he still drives around and sells shirts.
Wow.
Where was he in Manhattan though? What garage?
6.
6. Your garage.
Now you talk about Jerry Artamanelli, right?
Yeah.
He was in my garage. He was in 3 for a while. I remember because
He was a foreman in my garage.
Oh, he was a foreman. No, he was a sand worker in mine.
Yeah,
He came with the Long Island crew. We had the whole Long Island crew. They used to carpool, and they all come in together. And that was another. Ooh,
Yeah, I bought it off my shirts when he was a supervisor.
Artamanelli. Okay.
Did all that stuff.
There was another story, another Dougie Bertinelli story. He's telling me, you got to tell these stories. I said, all right, I'll tell them. We're driving in a snowstorm, right? They called us in. We got to go in 7:00 at night. So we go through, come out of Staten Island. We get on the BQE. You know where it goes down low, and there's the walls before you get to Atlantic Avenue. Mm-hmm. Now it's like full blizzard, and we're in my car, and I got a beater. Tires are really shitty. All of a sudden, we can't move. A bus or a truck goes up around the turn and fishtails because they didn't even get a chance to go out and plow or salt it. We're stuck there. In my car with like less than a quarter tank of gas, 13 hours. We had to sleep in the car, me and Dougie. He's in the back. He's in the back seat. I'm on the front seat, freezing. I couldn't run the car too long because I had no gas.
Yeah.
And then the boot, the floorboard, I had a big hole in the bottom with a metal plate. And he says, "It's cold back here." I said, "What do you want me to do? You want me to hug you?"
Get a little close.
Those were the sanitation cars, baby.
13 hours. So at the time, I think it was that was in 80. Geez, I don't know. It might have been 80. It was 83, maybe. Nah, I forgot. Well, whatever. They called my house. So at the time, I was still living home with my parents. And they said, "What do you mean? What are you talking about? He didn't come into work. He left last night. This is like 6:00 in the morning now." Anybody call and say like the BQE shut down or they didn't. Finally, they got there. They started towing trucks and cars out. We still couldn't get a ramp to get into Manhattan. So I called the garage. We had to stop at a payphone. Call the garage. I said, "Look, we're not going to be able to get in." They said, "Forget about it." They said, "Go report to one of the Staten Island garages to do some plowing." But that was hysterical. Both of us in the car for 13 hours in the BQE.
Real quick on the spreader end. Were you on the job when they didn't have a full spreader fleet yet? Where you had like dump trucks or open-ended trucks where you used to spread salt by hand with shovels or no?
No, I never did that.
That was before your time.
That was before. Yeah. No, we had the salt spreaders, the regular ones.
All right.
Yeah.
What year did you transfer to Staten Island?
It was 1989.
89?
89, yeah. I did 8 years in Manhattan.
What made you come? Family?
Closer to home. I got tired of the drive into Manhattan. We carpooled and everything, and I got tired of the BQE with the traffic coming home. Mm-hmm. And pretty much I wanted to be closer. Yeah, pretty much family. I wanted to be a little bit closer to my drive. And going to Staten Island, too.
And you just put in like a broad transfer, 1, 2, 3.
No, I put it in for 2.
Oh, you only wanted 2?
See, Dougie, he put in transfer. We got it at the same time. He went to 1.
Yep.
And I put 2 across the board.
Okay.
And like Sally Volcano got there and a couple of other guys, we all pretty much went to 2. I think they had a bunch of guys that were retiring at the time. So it worked out really well. Plus, I was living in Bay Terrace. So it was easy for me.
Because you're working now, doesn't 2 pick up Bay Terrace?
No, that's 3.
No, it's still 3.
Does?
Yeah, that's still 3. And during snowstorms, when they gave you your route to go plow.
You would go do your house.
Yeah, I went right to my house. Right to my house. Whatever I had, a spreader, a love truck with a plow, I went and I made sure my block was done.
Now, just so you know, I don't know how much you travel through Staten Island to Brooklyn or Manhattan anymore, but the traffic is still there on the BQE.
Yeah, no.
Just so you know, it has not gotten any better.
Oh, really?
They could do whatever they want.
Oh.
That goddamn...
And it's under construction.
And it's still in the construction.
Yeah.
I still laugh when I'll happen to be going through that way. And I'm like, they're still working on this goddamn Gowanus. That started, now I'm retired 7 years in September. That started when I got on the job in 99. they started this whole big revision of the Gowanus. It's still there. It's still
Job
bad.
security.
Yeah. I think it's that's a 100-year project, without a doubt.
Yeah, the guy who started it's never going to finish it.
Yeah.
He ain't going to live it. He's not going to even. It's going to outlive him.
No, yeah, I don't go that way a lot when we do go to the city occasionally. But yeah, I've been in that, and road rage takes to another level.
Yeah,
You
Oh,
just
it's awful.
I can't deal with traffic.
So what's your first impression now from the like Manhattan picking up garbage, the area? Now you're in Staten Island, right away off the bat. Your first day on Staten Island working.
I heard the birds chirping. That was one. It was nice. It was
not horns.
not the rats squealing. But it was different. I mean, like I said, they still had the metal garbage pails in Manhattan. When we got to Staten Island, they were the rubber ones. People had rubber ones, or they had the only thing was the wheel out ones, the real big ones. Those were a little bit of a pain in the ass. But that's when the two of us would do it. But that the garbage was a lot different. That's for sure.
Well, now you're doing full routes.
Yeah.
Where in Manhattan you're getting 4 blocks.
Yeah.
Just say.
Right.
Like now you're coming to Staten Island, you're getting 20 blocks.
I think one day I put 40. Is it possible 42 miles on the truck from when the time I started, left the garage, went to South Beach.
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna
where
say
most of
South
our route
Beach,
was.
yeah.
Was South Beach, and then driving around down there, picking up garbage, and then coming back.
So getting into that, that's where you predominantly worked with South Beach. Like that's where your route was.
Yeah, I was. I was down by
That's
South
where you
Beach.
stayed.
Yeah, I'm not sure the number was at 20, 24.
You didn't hook up
No,
with
20
tomatoes and get a little Toad Hill action.
No. Actually, I talked to Tony a couple of weeks ago.
He had Toad Hill right for years.
Him and Richie Diaz.
Yeah.
And then when I think it went nights, or Tony went nights for a while, I wound up being Richie's partner up there, up off of Manor Road.
Different world.
That was a different world up there, yeah.
I used to pick Tony's garbage up because he lives down near Staten Island 1,
Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
across the street from the park.
Yeah. He's
good people.
He's a good dude, yeah.
He used to come to softball too, right? Didn't he used to go to softball games in the beginning? The
when
very,
we
very
would play,
beginning?
Yeah.
What
guy.
garage you just play for?
I played for one for a little while, then I played
Okay.
for 3.
Trying to think, because we had a softball team.
You were gone. They used to do a thing between the Staten Island.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, the landfill,
Okay.
In the borough.
borough.
All right. We went. I used to go to Brooklyn and play.
Okay.
We went to play the garages in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Softball.
they still actually have that league. I just started following them.
Yeah. You know Jerry Tingos?
No.
He was a foreman. He was a really good pitcher. First time we went to Brooklyn to face him, I couldn't believe how good this guy was. I said, we got to get him on our team on Staten Island. And we got him out at the ASA. We
You have to pay him?
we commandeered him. No, pay him nothing. Give him a hot dog. But yeah, we're going back to tomatoes, or like the guys. I don't know if we're going to talk about the guys on the job, like who we got along with. And
No, you don't have to
You
do
can
whatever you
talk-
want.
you can
Yeah,
talk
no, I
whatever
mean-
you want.
I like twice a year I get the guys together from Manhattan East 3 and from Staten Island 2. We all meet on Staten Island, and we try to just go to a different restaurant all the time, twice a year. And I feel there's like a camaraderie, if I'm saying the word right.
Yeah.
Camaraderie.
These are the guys I liked being with.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we go to Patrici's. Last time, a couple of months ago, we were over at Campagna on Highland Boulevard. Had 22 guys there.
Nice.
You know, and I just try to do this every year, like at least twice a year. But the guys, this is all we do. We just talk about the crazy times that we did. It's like war stories.
They say it's therapy, some of the guys that come on here.
You know what? It really is. I think and some stories that they never would have told, I think they tell.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Which is fun to hear it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Which area was harder and why? I guess Staten Island, or we're talking about Manhattan and
Well, like which area was harder to work in Manhattan or Staten Island?
I would say Staten Island probably.
yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. Because you had all the walking, and then you get into an area where just the garbage was insane. You know, the garbage was like totally crazy. Like in South Beach, and me and my partner, we used to run. You know, I mean, we're the two guys that probably ruined the job.
Us
You know.
too. Don't worry about it.
And then we slowed down.
You worked with did you work with Petey Diamede?
Who?
Pete Diamede. Speedy Pete.
No.
He was in that garage. I don't know when he retired.
It might have been after.
No, he might have retired before you.
Wow, he's an older guy.
He's 80.
Carl Aragali I worked with. He was he liked to run. And there was sometimes where it'd be like,
Wayne was a runner.
nothing wrong with it.
No, I
got
ran.
long
but
legs.
I ran, but I was.
I was just
I
saying,
didn't
yeah,
go
you
that
get
fast.
around pretty easy.
I ran, but I didn't go that fast.
I don't, the garbage being difficult or being easy, nothing was easy. I don't think anything was really easy.
No, just adapting to the difference of what you were doing, what you were picking up.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, the biggest factor was just the walking.
Yeah.
We did a lot more walking. Probably that's how we stayed in shape, too.
100%.
I mean, in Manhattan, it's just,
Yeah.
apartment building to apartment building. We never,
I've said it before. You leave this job when you're on the job and you're working. I was a worker. I ran
Right.
as fast as I could get it done.
Okay.
And you're eating a certain way, right? You're eating heroes, this, that, bacon, egg in the morning,
Right.
and maybe hero when you're done with the route. But you're fueling it, man. You're running. You're moving. You're moving. You retire and you think you're going to eat like that. 30, 40 pounds happens real quick
Right.
because your whole body slows down.
you're not working it off.
No,
You're not working it off.
Yeah.
I know.
it's the killer.
Yeah.
No, you
Guys
could tell
don't-
by the guys. You knew
Guys
what
don't
guys
expect
on the
it.
job weren't running. Like the guys that stayed out all day.
Right.
You could tell just by the look at them.
And that's fine if that's what you want
Yeah.
to do.
Go
But
for
when
it.
it's 95 degrees,
I never wanted to be out there.
I want to get in as soon as possible.
Well, honestly, with us, it was more of the longer we were out there that I felt, the longer I was out there, the more shit that could happen, the more trouble I could get in,
Right.
the
Accident,
more
anything.
people are paying attention
Right.
to us,
Right.
and I just didn't want it.
Yeah.
You had people now. You're putting phones in people's hands while they're driving, and I had somebody drive right into my fucking truck. Like I was sitting at break. And I said, this is why I told all the guys that, I randomly would take break. If it was something to stay out for that I felt it was the need, whether it was somebody got shorted in their paycheck, somebody got
Right.
banged for a reason they shouldn't have,
Right.
whatever it was, I always had my own, all right, I'll stay out today. Sitting on Forest Avenue and a car, I see him bang, bang, bouncing off cars all the way down Forest Avenue.
wow.
I jumped over the truck to get into my partner's lap, and he was scared shit. He didn't know what was going on. And the dude drove right into the gas tank. Like drove his car right into it. Wound up he was on medication. Shouldn't have been driving. But he hit 6 cars going down Forest Avenue. And then and stopped at the garbage truck, of course.
Right.
I never want to be out there to risk because people aren't paying attention to you.
Right. Oh,
They're
definitely not.
No, now
it's-
it's even worse.
Yeah.
It's way worse than when you were on because now everybody's texting and driving, and it's even worse now
Yeah.
since we left. They were even worse with that shit.
Oh, yeah, with the phones.
Yeah.
And how many times you see people, the women, they got the phone.
She
they're
understands.
doing the makeup. That freaks me out. Steering with their knees. Please don't yell at me.
I don't do
They're
it.
doing a vlog.
Yeah, they're doing vlogs. We had a girl on here that does vlogs and swears she's looking at the road. Meanwhile, she's looking right at the camera.
Right at the camera.
That's all right, Dina. But no, it's difficult. And
It is, yeah.
people don't understand that part of it. Like, that's where the job gets scary. When they slam right into the back of the truck. It happened to a guy, I think it was Manhattan, and there was video. It was a few months ago, and you hear the guy
horrible.
screaming because the car just came driving down the block, and he was behind the truck
Ran
and
into the back.
bam, pinned him right into the back of the
Screaming.
truck.
God only knows. It's horrible, man.
There's no coming back from that one.
No, and
That's
it's like, come on. And then unfortunately, the job will turn around and be like, were the lights on? Did all the clip lights work? Like, they'll turn it any way they can, the job, into your fault. Well, we have to look into it.
Right.
The camera's showing what happened. Like, come on, guys. Like, this is not, the guy was on the phone. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
So that's the scary parts about the job
that's-
that I didn't want to be involved with. So that's why I wanted to be off the street. I just
Right.
wanted to take it out of the equation.
Right. Yeah. Instead of being out there for the full 7 or 8,
So much bad shit could happen.
get out 4 hours and go sit or do what you got to do and
Yeah.
stay out of trouble.
Exactly.
But even like going back to when we had the 3-man truck, the M's. Remember the M's? The glove compartment was open. There was the fuse box right there and everything. Yeah. Well, if the foremans come out and gave us a hard time, I had one guy. You know what he used to do? He used to carry a coat hanger with him, and he would just start, and the truck would go down. got to a point where the mechanics come out and they said, John, look, do me a favor. Look, find something else to do. It's just creating too many problems sticking that coat hanger in the glove compartment.
Now the mechanics hate you.
Not, yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
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 Like we had a quick thing. If you really didn't like, if it was like that kind of day and you didn't want to deal with it, the trash was either heavy, you just didn't want to stay out and deal with the bullshit. There's a fuel pump on the side of the truck, and you just release that and let air in it.
Yeah.
Truck won't start.
And it won't start.
It'll be done.
And you got to
gotta
prime it and go.
takes
Yeah.
forever,
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
whole
I know,
nightmare.
yeah. I
You
know,
gotta tow
yeah.
it. We all had those, and that's why I laugh, because it's just they think we're idiots.
Right.
Oh, he's picking up garbage. He can't go to college. He can't. No, we saw the end of we saw the 20 years down the road, and the money that comes along with it.
Absolutely.
That the check is there every month, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Every year, like the end of the year, I just sit down and before I do my taxes, and I just add up all the years my pension check, what I've been collecting.
Yeah.
And they said, man, that's a lot of money.
Crazy, right?
A lot of
Doing
money.
nothing.
How could you not want to do it? You know?
I don't know how people could turn it down.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about people have about a sanitation worker?
That we're filthy,
Okay.
you know. That's how you go home. You know, you go home dirty. You don't wash your hands. You don't do that. When I was on the truck, they gave me a nickname. They called me Prince Renier. I didn't get dirty. I took pride in that. I mean, you know, obviously you get a little bit, but I had some guys that were rolling around in the bags, carrying them with the cans, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Picking up garbage without the gloves. That to me, that was insane.
I've seen that. That's disgusting.
That's insane.
No,
you
my killer was guys that would drive with gloves on. And you know who you are out there, you son of a bitches.
Yeah.
I hated
That's right,
it, Nicky.
yeah.
I would get in the truck,
That steering wheel.
raining or whatever, and they're on the steering wheel with the gloves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, not driving over there all day today.
Right.
I mean, we had cleaning supplies in the truck, but it's like,
Right.
come on, dude.
nasty. That's nothing nastier than that.
Takes a second to take the gloves off and throw them in the windshield.
Yeah, especially like you said, when after it rained, when they were juicy.
Juicy.
They were juicy
Them
gloves.
orange gloves smell like
steering
cactus.
wheel, or the shifter, you know.
Yeah, my whole thing was keep the bags away from me. I could have probably kept my work pants for another. I probably could have just kept them. I didn't need to throw them out.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing on my pants. Like after my 20 years, it was just I hated
that's
like
good.
the thought of touching the pails and the bags and all that touching up against you and the cutting. You know, you get cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just keep it away from you.
Well, it's like you said, people see it as trash, garbage. They associate it with being filth.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of us weren't like that. There was some that, like I said, they couldn't work clean.
Well, that's what they saw in the street, though, Nick. So think about it. You're off the street. They didn't see you at 9 o'clock in the morning when they went to work.
Right.
You were clean,
Right.
you know, nice. Your chains are out.
Yes.
You're enjoying your day.
Yep.
They saw the guys that were out there taking their sweet ass time, covered in filth.
Usually the guys that were staying out all day too are like really, really heavy. It's true. It's true. I'm not being a dick. It's fucking true.
Yeah.
There's always the guys that were real heavy, late, like they just didn't.
They did what they could to get the job done.
Right.
And whether that was use their chest and stomach to carry the bag to the garbage truck, that's what they did.
My question is, those larger people, how did they pass the test, the physical part?
Nah, the physical's a joke for us.
Well, your
what-
time, but me, I mean, there was some heavy guys when I took that test. I seen down there in the Navy Yard, and I'm like, man,
They probably went like this on the Navy Yard.
yeah, it's possible, yeah.
But then again, you know, you think of it, and I'm not throwing this at anyone or you. We know a lot of guys that get on the job and they're very small, but then they get into that routine of, like he was saying, you're eating whatever in the morning. You're not running around. You know, you got a lazy day. You're eating breakfast, a bacon, egg, and cheese. Then you're eating a sandwich at lunch. And guys expand when they're on the job. So a lot of them don't start that big, but they get that big.
If you're not moving too, if you're a guy that stays out, you ain't gonna lose any weight.
Right.
Yeah. So it happens. What was your toughest day in your career, do you feel? Do you have one day that you remember that you never forget?
Well, it wasn't picking up garbage, to be honest. We had when the two girls came into our garage and they worked. I mean, you know, I had no problem working with them, but one of them on one weekend happened to get killed. You know, and we wanted to go to the funeral. The union told us, all right, we're going to go to the funeral. So we made a deal with the city. We said, look, we want to go to Carmen's funeral. It was uptown somewhere, maybe in Harlem, but it was during the week when we were working. So we said, look, we're going to go up there. We're going to take love trucks, whatever we got to do to get up there. As soon as it's over, we're going to come back. We're going to try and finish the route. Try. There was the big word, try. When we got back, see, the city heard it as we're going to finish the route.
Yeah.
So that opened up a whole can of worms for a couple of weeks, because now they were busting down on us. They wanted to bang guys. We had to watch what we were doing. And we said, look, we'll do our best. We couldn't finish the routes. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So to me, that was one of the hardest days, because here we are trying to, you know, honor somebody that, you know, she didn't get killed on the job, but she was a worker. She was one of our fellow workers. And we go up there and we come back, and now the city's breaking our horns about finishing the route. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's
Ain't going
another
anywhere.
day. Tomorrow's another day. Put a couple extra trucks on, you know, and we'll finish. That, to me, that was one of my toughest, because I seen like the city had no heart. Yeah, we probably weren't 100% right. We didn't come back and run through the streets to get the route done, but we made the effort.
Yeah, we had that happen with us on the job too, and they would always, all right, come in at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to go to the thing, like, how about be a human,
Right.
and let someone go to do this, and let them come in after the fact, then clock in, and then do 8 hours from there. Make a deal that actually works for them to go and support the family of a fellow worker.
Right.
You know, and they don't do that, and that's one shitty part about the city.
Well, that's what it is, yeah. I mean, some bosses, like I said, I mean, even they were never out in the street.
Nope.
You know, it's like the foremans, like we talk about. They come out of the school, like you can't give them the badge. It's kind of tough. You don't really see what's going on, but it happens. And
It happens more now than ever.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah.
Did you ever take the supervisor test?
Yeah, actually, I did, and it's funny because I went into my fireproof box and I found my scores. I told you I'm a hoarder with all this memorabilia.
All right.
I got my badges. I found my mark, what I got, and they called me a couple of years later. I didn't want to take it. I didn't take it. Like I says, I'm a ham and egg. I want to be out in the street. People say, "Oh, you're crazy. You're breaking your balls out there." I'm like, I'm not one to do paperwork, and I see what we did to the bosses. I see how we tortured them when they got shitty with us. And I says, I got to work with guys. I got to be a boss for guys that I picked up garbage with next to the truck. You know, you know, like Fazano was good.
Yeah, but that's the hard part. It's like people don't realize that, you know, you're working with guys for 10 years now.
Right.
And now you have to, I hate to say it, go against them. But there's going to be times where you're going to have to go against the guys that you just did 10 years with.
Right.
And you know what they're doing. You know all the tricks of the trade.
Well, that's just it. You're not getting over on anybody.
No, so it's like your boy, you know, now the higher up, you know, says to you, hey, what's going on here and there? You know in the back of your head what's going on. Right. So now you have to like twist it to where it's not going to like give them up to what they, because now you're going to have 10 guys that fucking for 10 years hate you now.
Right.
It's a hard spot.
No, it is. You know, and to be honest with you, like taking the badge, not that it would have swayed my decision, but I knew once I got married in '92 and I had the kids, I knew I wanted to leave Staten Island.
Yeah.
So and when we got the 20-year pension, I said, that's it, I'm done. In '94, me and my wife with my first child, my son Nicholas, we flew out to Las Vegas. We were thinking about moving out there. One of the guys from my garage in Staten Island retired and moved out there, and he was preaching it like it's great. We went out there, you know, and we looked around, and he showed us his house. And I'm like, man, you get a lot out here. We got cold feet.
Yeah.
It's a plane right now to see the family, and we just didn't want to bother. But we never really wanted to go to Jersey. My wife wanted to go to Pennsylvania. And that's what we did. You know, as soon as I retired, I took my terminal leave in April. By June, we were out of there. They built the house in July. It was finished, and that was it.
And you've been there since?
Been there since, yeah.
Nice.
Sold the big house. I had a big ranch with like 3 acres of land, and it just got to be too much for me, especially after the kids started moving out. I don't want to take care of it. And it was 20 years old.
Yeah, if it's just you and your wife, why are you gonna? I see that.
Yeah.
I see that end game.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about before. Like, right now I want land.
Right.
I want 40 acres, 50 acres, 60 acres. But then I think about it, I'm like,
who's taking care of this?
Exactly. So do you feel like you need a certain skill set to be a successful sanitation worker?
Not a skill set, but a mindset. If you're good with your hands, I mean, it's not rocket science. Pick up garbage, pick up the can, learn how to pick it up properly without getting hurt. And they always preach that, like they bend your knees but skill set, I don't think so.
So did you ever have any major injuries now that we speak about them preaching about picking garbage up on the job?
Yeah, I did. I had one knee surgery. I got hurt. I got hurt in the garage, and I had to go Lodi, and I wound up going for microsurgery in my right knee. And when they did the microsurgery, they seen that I tore my ACL. So the windup was I never got it fixed because the doctor, actually, I had the Mets doctor, Dr. Parks. He was a New York Mets physician. His associate did it. This guy's named Betty. And he told me, he said, look, if you're like a 17-year-old kid with a pro career ahead of you, I say, get it done.
Yeah.
I said, well, look, I work, I got to be physical, I'm picking up garbage. He said, all you got to do is go to rehab. He says, build the muscles up around your knee. And I did that. I did that for the longest time. I even went back to playing ball. The city paid for those derotational braces that they make, the one Joe Namath had from the 60s.
Yeah.
I had both of them for my knees when I used to play ball. Because I didn't want to stop.
Yeah, I hear you.
I didn't want to stop playing.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's pretty much.
So now you bring up the whole going Lodi thing.
Yeah.
So now we've spoke about it on the podcast how bad it got when we were there. What was the clinic, if there even was? Wasn't it out on the landfill, the clinic, at that time?
No, I had to go down at, I think I went to Word Street or Center
Beaver?
Street. The clinic was down there.
Oh, Senna, not Beaver.
Yeah. It was
So what was it, a weekly thing? Did they call you? Like how bad it got here? Like in our time?
Well, I don't remember them calling me, but I had guys visit me.
Oh, so they were visiting.
They were visiting, yeah. They were visiting me at the house. I mean, like I said, I was out for a few months. And then when I had to go back on light duty, I went down and I worked on Word Street I had a tissue.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't recall as far as phone calls, few of them maybe, just to see if I was home.
Oh, they would call us every day. Come to the house every day.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was absolutely out of control. And it was, even if you were, like, it wasn't even during your shift. Like, they told you don't have a day off. Right. So we're going to call you, Monday through Saturday. Not really Saturdays. They really didn't bother you on Saturday, but Monday through Friday. And if you were a 6 to 2 guy, they'd call you at 5 o'clock at night.
Really?
Or come to your house at 5 o'clock at night.
And it got really bad when the city hired Rosenberg was not a sanitation worker.
Yeah, they were like civilians.
They hired civilians to come do the house checks.
Oh, that poor guy. Yeah. One day he comes to my house. I was living with my mother still at the time, my sister. And he's like, hey, Wayne, I was living in the basement. He's like, can I use the bathroom quick? I'm like, of course, I have no problem with him. But I forgot to warn him that the step going upstairs, you can hit your head. Oh, my God. He hit his head so bad on the head, like on the top of the stairs going up. I felt so bad for him.
You can't even say that because it's not supposed to be in your house.
Yeah. He was like, I got to go. I'm like, all right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're not supposed to come in. They're just supposed to make sure you're home.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So you kind of answered this. 20 and out was always the plan.
That was my plan.
Do you regret leaving at 20? Any regrets?
No, only because...
just saying it because it's so long now since you retired.
Right. Like I says, I'm out 25 years and I'm still working. Now, when I retired, I had said, yeah, I'll work 1 or 2 days a week. I'll get a little schlepper job when I go to Pennsylvania. But it never planned out. I wound up driving a dump truck.
5 days a week.
5 days a week, and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Blue collar.
And I enjoyed it. I wasn't killing myself. I'm driving most of the time. I mean, we were hauling stone, I'm still doing that to this day. Now I work for a paving company, a good friend of mine, but I have a lot of leadway with that. Like I want to take days off, or I only work 4 days a week.
Okay.
And he says, if you need days off or if I get jammed up, I said, just call me. But I'm not killing myself.
Yeah.
The problem is with my knees now. They're really starting to bother me for the last 10 years. So it's time. Probably in November, I'm going to try to go for one knee replacement.
Yeah, with the driving, with the moving back and forth, you know,
and
the
down.
brake and the
Up and down out of the
but even
truck.
the brake, the gas, the brake, you know, the pressure you put on it, it happens.
And they're all stick. They're not. We don't have any automatics. So
Well, and that's, I hate to say, the difference is with kids now, they don't drive the stuff. So to get a driver to even help your friend out is going to be tough. So not that he doesn't want you to leave, like not like he's like, Nicky, you can't leave me. It's going to be hard. Like these kids don't know how to drive stick anymore.
no, everything's automatic.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. You know, and just real quick, going back to the school, I mean, it was two of us that had the license. And you know, I knew these kids have to learn. And they're not going to learn by watching other people do it.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get in there and do it. So this guy just kept breaking my shoes because he wanted to see how good I was.
Yeah.
You know, and he would he'd go in there, he'd volunteer, and he'd be, backing in cones and everything. And he said, "Come on, Nick." He said, "It's nice. These are the guys that need, you know."
Yeah.
Finally pissed me off enough one day. I said, "You want me to do it?" Okay. I got in the truck and I backed into the cones. I didn't touch one of them. I got out, put the truck in park. I said, "You happy now?" I said, what did I just prove? I said, "These kids are looking." I said, they see me driving, backwards fast. I said, they can't let them do that in the beginning.
Yeah.
They have to physically, on-the-job training, I call it.
Yeah.
Get in there and get familiar with everything. So let them do it.
Well, we bring it up a lot, that driving, us starting in Manhattan, like, helped us. Because when you're driving in Manhattan compared to other boroughs, and I know there's going to be people out there that go, oh, you know, Brooklyn, Queens, this, that. No, there's just so much movement and so fast pace in Manhattan. You don't have that in any other borough. You know, there may be areas, but it's not the entire time. When you're behind that wheel, you're watching people, you know, there's always people in the sidewalks, in the crosswalks. It's constant. Now you're adding in all these electric bicycles that don't even make noise, so you can't even hear them. At least with us, it was like mopeds, you can hear them.
Yeah.
You know, you have all that now. So there's just a lot of, my biggest thing when everybody gets on their job, just pay attention. Look around. You got 4 mirrors, use them.
Right.
Don't just pull out. You know, you never know what's going to be there.
Right. Be observant. I mean, it's common sense. It's just common sense.
Well, and that's what's missing from the world, Nick.
Yeah.
The fucking common sense. It's gone.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're 100%.
They're walking around looking at their phones. They're not paying attention.
Right.
So now you have to pay attention for that person.
For them. Exactly.
So
And driving. I mean, people think I'm insane. I mean, I'm driving 50 years, 45 years. And I'm not saying I get road rage. I get pissed off at a lot of people, but it's gotten crazier, like you said, with the phones.
yeah.
I mean, people are driving, wait at the light, they're in front of me, light changed, what's going on? And I could see them, they're on the phone.
Yeah, you can tell just by the way they drive. Too.
They're on the phone, yeah. They're so like out of touch.
Yep. They're not watching what's going on. I got my kids in the backseat yelling, "Put the Facebook down," because that's what normally I'm yelling. Because you know they're on something.
They're doing,
Yeah,
they're
on the
checking their Instagram account. It's funny.
After working in New York City, what's the one thing you learned about the public?
After working in New York City, well, it's a different world. The yuppie community up there, like we used to pick up St. Mark's.
You're also talking about the early 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
It was
yeah.
a different world.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
they came out at night.
Freeze come out of my head.
Yeah, thank goodness I was straight days. That was the other thing. When me and Dougie went to Manhattan, a handful of times I got forced working nights. I mean, I don't understand the story where guys constantly said they were getting nights, days, round robins. We worked mostly straight days. The worst that we got was I had to go out of town a few times. But that's how that garage was. Guys ate up 12 to 8. You couldn't even get it. So I'm fine with that. I liked working days. I like my nightlife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Manhattan thing. That was a lot, even when we got on the job. You couldn't get on 4 to 12.
Yeah.
You couldn't get.
Even 4 to 12, yes.
But then again, you got 12 to 8 where you had, like in my district, you had 4 basket guys. Yeah, they were all 15 years or better.
Yeah.
And they all had
25 years
They all
ago.
had like good deals too. Like they like had it set up to where they got a couple hours sleep, and
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean. Like those basket trucks weren't torture. Like that's why those guys never left those spots.
Yeah, no, they had a tit and it was good. Excuse me.
No, that's good. Do you? What other stories you got? You got any other fun stuff you want to get out of the years?
I'm trying to stay in Manhattan here real quick. Let me think. Yeah, there was. Let me think. There was.
So you never saw like, I was just looking around, like Gotti, any of those people walking around down there, or
I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't know nobody.
Nick, let me ask you a quick
I'm
question.
not saying you saw a murder happen. I'm just saying, like, because I know the social clubs, like we spoke about it earlier.
All over
that
there.
was all down Lower East Side, Little Italy, Little Italy.
Well, okay.
That was a lot with two.
All right. Well,
That was on Tuesday.
Yeah, Ravenite and all that.
when
okay.
when we were in Manhattan, a lot of times we used to go down to Mulberry Street, and there was a bar there we used to hang out in. It was called Mata de Charo. If you ever see the Sopranos episodes, that's the bar that when they go into Manhattan, that's the bar that they shoot
Really?
the scenes in. Yeah, but we used to go there to hang out because a couple of guys from the neighborhood that worked in my garage, they knew the owner and everything. Or we'd go to McSorley's on 7th Street.
Yep. I know McSorley's.
And that was where when I went to McSorley's, and we used to go with the trucks. We parked them on the side block by the college. Yeah, it was we did. That's what I mean, like stupid stuff, because there wasn't a pee-pee wagon back then. You didn't have to worry about the drug testing or anything. We would pull out of the garage. I'm sorry, we would pull out of the garage. The first stop would be a bodega.
Yeah.
Let's get the beers and here we go.
Yeah. I wanted to ask one question. I think, where were you when you were in 2, when you first got to 2? Were you at Jersey Street? Or it was already gone?
On Staten Island.
No, the new garage was built.
It was already built.
The new garage was built. Yeah.
So then you wouldn't know my friend's that, because I remember going there with him and his son, my best friend.
Okay.
He was on Manhattan, Staten Island 1. It was Staten Island 1 and Staten Island 2 was on Jersey Street.
Well, oh, really? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
No, the new
That's why I
garage-
didn't know if you were in the old building or the one by the mall.
No, I was the one by the mall.
Yeah, no, they were in Jersey Street before that.
And I went down there over the years, like past couple of years. I went back there, and that was a brand new garage when I was in it. I mean, it was fairly clean. It looks like a shit house now.
Yeah.
Lockers in the hallways. I had I had like 2 lockers upstairs that you try to keep clean. The showers were clean.
Yep.
And that was the other thing. We were talking about filth. I mean, every day, no matter where, Manhattan, Staten Island, after I was done work, we had to take a shower.
Yeah, no, these guys don't.
But they don't I don't think they take pride in it. Like
What, in
the
health?
garage. No, in the garage itself. Like, we did our own thing. We made our own room, like, because we didn't want to eat in filth and we didn't want to be around that.
Right.
Like, so we took a room, like the size of this.
Right.
And said, it's our room, and we made it nice. Like, some guys don't. Like, the lockers in the hallway, that's craziness. That's the garage shops who should be like, yo, my guy's not changing in a hallway.
To me, that's insane.
But they let it happen.
Yeah.
But the city made all Staten Island like pretty much super districts and loaded them up just because of the whole plowing and everything else. Meanwhile, a lot of those guys go out of town pretty much every day.
Yeah.
They got no work for them in Staten Island.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You would have...
Oh, that changed.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
You left in 91, you said?
2001.
2001.
2001.
What was the number there? Do you remember?
Guys in the garage?
How many guys you had? Do you remember?
No, I can't even
Like, when we
guess.
got to Staten Island 1, it was 205. That's how many guys were in that district.
Wow. I don't even think we were close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't
then
think
it
we were
dropped
close to that.
drastically.
Yeah.
and
I
then
do
it
know
spiked
when I
again.
retired, when I got out of there, I was probably in the top 6, 7 guys in Staten Island too.
You don't
If I'd have stayed, I wanted to stay like Dougie 30-something years.
When did he become foreman? 20 years on, right?
Yeah, he had the badge for 20 or 22
No,
years.
he had 20 years on before he took the badge.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right? He took the badge
Yeah,
late.
we were both coming up to retirement, and I think he did retire
Yeah, he
for a short
retired.
time, and then he went back. Mm-hmm. Then he went back for whatever
Great
reason.
guy. Dougie's a great guy.
Ah, he's great. Yeah, we went to Club Meds together and everything.
I wanted to get back to something and I totally forgot now about what I was going to say.
Join the club. I'm the poster child for ADHD, so don't worry about that. Looking at my notes again.
No, that's what it was. So the whole thing. So now I come to Manhattan 6, and that wagon started 3 years prior to us getting on. So you would hear stories about, like you said, we'd go to McSorley's, park the trucks around the corner. And they would tell stories. And one guy was telling me how they had to come out and get a truck one day because the guy got so plastered they wouldn't let him drive back to the garage.
Yeah.
And like these are the
I've heard
things,
stories like that. Yeah.
people don't believe went on. It was like, Wild Wild West with sanitation. Because like we say, people don't see you. By the time you come out at 9 o'clock to go to work,
Right.
we're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, our day's
We're
done,
done.
especially 6 to 2.
Especially in Manhattan.
9 is
you're
late,
gone.
actually, right? For like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they don't even know. Like, wow, my garbage picked up. Where'd they go?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Right,
we
yeah.
disappear. We don't hang around. We got no reason to be out here shaking hands and kissing babies. Yeah, we got no
Like you
time
said,
for
they're
that.
only going to get in trouble. You know,
Exactly.
the thing was, if you're going to, get done, go to the bar. Like I said, we used to go to the bar after work, or if we got done early, we went during work.
Yeah.
But take your shirt off at least.
Yeah.
Take your shirt off. Don't go in there.
That
with
pisses me off more than anything.
Yeah, take your shirt off, really.
And you got plenty of people like that. They walk around after work. They
Depot
don't
and
running
shit.
around. They're in Home Depot with their uniform
With the
on.
uniform.
Like, you can't be this stupid.
Cutting their grass with their full uniform on. Like, what, you don't want to get dirty? Like,
I never understood it, why guys would do that, because you're just giving yourself up.
yeah. We had, I don't know if you remember, if you ever heard of it, years ago, there was a picture on the front.
Of the handball?
No, the weight room.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had the guy
yeah.
in the sanitation, the shirt, the button-down shirt, and he's lifting weights. And it was on the front page of the Post or the Daily News. And the public went wild.
But that was the gym inside too, you talking
Yeah, it
about?
was 1 and 2.
That was a big thing, though, but when they built that gym for you guys.
Very big, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, we had one in Manhattan. It was a shoddy one. We used to use it, but the 1 and 2, that
You had all brand new equipment.
brand new.
Yeah.
Everything was brand new.
Yeah, but you would think, why would people get mad at that? It's the guys are staying in shape to pick up garbage.
Yeah, but they don't know. They think like,
Yeah.
look at this. They're supposed to be they're supposed to be picking up garbage, but they're lifting weights.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know if it's after hours. But like I said, then take your shirt off.
I thought you were bringing up the world famous picture that was in the Daily News of 8 garbage trucks at a park, and they were playing handball or basketball.
No.
And that's when everything went sideways, when they were coming after everybody.
What year was that?
I wasn't on the job. I was a kid. I'll never forget it. I'm like, this job is great. These guys are all playing basketball. And then you hear people talking about it. They were all mad. As a kid, you're like, what the fuck they mad at? The guys are playing basketball and getting paid, you know?
I never heard of that one. I'm going to have to Google
Yeah,
that one.
you'll find it.
But then, we're getting trained up at Randall's Island, and we're doing the driving stuff because we didn't come on with CDLs.
Yeah,
So they were teaching us at that time how to drive in dump trucks. And 12 dump trucks pull up to a park, and the guys pull out sneakers and basketball and everything
Right.
else.
I forgot all about that.
Right?
Get outta
So
here.
now, I mean, I'm tall, so they're like,
You
yo,
played,
you want to play?
right?
Yeah, I brought my sneakers. Shit, yeah, that was when I was playing a lot then. So I was playing with them, but it was our lunch period, our lunch half hour, whatever you want to
Whatever it
say.
was, yeah.
But I mean, nothing ever came of it. I never saw it in the news or anything, but that's what we did,
I know.
But
But like you said, the public's perception of us, to me, it's a two-edged sword. I mean, a lot of people would thank us. They say, you guys are doing a great job. Then you have the other guys doing, oh, what are you doing? You're walking so slow. You're lazy. You're this. You're that.
Yeah.
So it's a different perception by different people.
yeah. And then with us, it changed. I don't know when it was. The Daily News put out an article saying that we were making 6 figures. And that's it.
That was the end of it.
Now people wanted to, like, if they saw you sitting in a deli or something, what are you on lunch break? How long do you guys get?
Oh my God.
You've been here a half hour. It's like, shut your mouths.
That's when
You
the whole
know?
thing came out, New York's richest.
Yeah, New York's richest.
I remember, yeah.
And they pinned us at, making 6 figures, and now everybody's like, wait, now I want that job. So now it twisted the whole thing against us, and it's like we're just doing our job.
Yeah, but it kind of like threw us under the bus by doing that bad. And that could change in a heartbeat, people's perception. They could say, well, we thought these guys were really on the up and up, but look at this. They're making all this money and then not working. Little they know, like you said, you want to run your route in 3 hours, you're done. You broke your ass
They
for
don't know
3
what
hours.
you did for that to get done.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're
I
not
used to
following
argue
you.
people all the time.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not following you.
I got
What do you got?
I got a story.
Go ahead.
I'm telling too many stories.
No,
It's
tell
all
them.
right.
I
It's
want to
good.
hear
I
it.
want to hear it,
I
dude.
know. I hope I'm not boring.
You're not
No, I
boring us
love
at
it.
all. Very good, man.
We another thing, like I'm like a proactive type of guy. Like I said, I'll call the guys up. Let's get together. If 20 show up or if 5 show up, whatever it is, we get together. So when I was, I think it was still in Manhattan. I used to run Atlantic City bus trips out of country lanes on Staten Island, and I used to have the guys from Long Island. Everybody would come. So we had this one guy, Jimmy Palladino. He was a little bit loose, and whatever. I think he passed away actually. We go to Atlantic City, wins $1,800. I used to run the bus. We had the waitresses with the drinks and everything. It was like cheap at the time. It was $45 a piece. We used to go down and they give you like $10 back in tickets. We went to one casino.
Yeah.
And I didn't gamble. I didn't know. I used to go at the blackjack table. As soon as I lose my $20, I'm done. That's all.
Yeah.
So this guy wins $1,800 playing blackjack. So now the bus is getting ready to leave. So we used to call him the pony. I said, "Where's the pony?" He says, "Go." He says, he's staying. I says, "How's he going to get home? He'll figure a way." We find out later on, the next day, 2 of the guys from the garage had to go pick him up in the hotel. He was with hookers. They rolled him for the
No
18
money left.
They rolled no money. He had nothing. So 2 of the guys had to go pick him up at the casino in Atlantic
Took all his money.
They took all his money. They did something to his drink, and
Roofied
I felt so bad. Yeah, but
Oh,
that was.
amazing.
I mean, I say it's a funny story, but it was sad because he
That
had
is
problems.
funny.
No, it's pretty
He
funny.
had problems.
Kurt, you want to go to AC tomorrow?
Oh, thanks.
Stay away from the hookers.
So, Nicky, I'm going to thank you for coming. It was great. I love hearing the stories, the old time stories, because people don't realize how good this job could be and was at one point. The further you go back, the greater the stories get.
Without a doubt.
But I have one thing. How does Nicky Amato want to be remembered, all said and done?
Sanitation, or
Well, just in your life.
just in general. I know it's a cliche, but basically at heart, I'm a nice guy. I'll help you. I'll, whatever you want to do, I won't take advantage of you. And if you need something, just ask me for it. Just
Good
ask
stuff.
me for it.
Good stuff. Yeah, if
And
you need
be
anything, call
kind,
Nicky.
like you say.
Be kind.
Be kind. You never know what somebody's going through. You really don't.
Never.
That's his words every
I know.
every
I hear
episode.
it. Yeah, and that resonates with me a lot when you say that.
That's what I think of when I'm driving and dealing with stupidity. Because you never know what that person is going through. You just don't know. And where you could lead them for beeping a horn and
I know. And you get angry at them, but then when you think about it, like, oh, maybe he's got a sick child. Maybe.
Yeah.
You never know.
You don't know what somebody's going through.
But still, I get pissed off.
All right, Kurt's gonna do his
You know
his
the whole rapid fire, right?
Yeah, I'm terrible at this. Go ahead.
All right, so there's no. You're just gonna give me an answer. You don't have to explain anything. Just top of your head, what comes to you, and that's it. Favorite borough to work in?
Staten Island.
Least favorite?
Queens.
Coffee, tea, or energy drink?
Oh, coffee.
Rain, snow, or heat? Which is the worst?
Heat.
Weirdest thing you ever found in the trash?
Jeez, I don't know. I never had weird things.
All right. So what's the most valuable thing you ever found in the trash?
Oh, we found money,
All right.
Break the couch open, make sure you break that couch open.
Funniest thing you ever saw on a route?
Let me think. I just got to think. Turkeys. South Beach.
Okay.
I used to feed them.
So you're the problem.
Yeah, probably. Well, I was leaving, so I didn't care.
You ever been chased by a dog?
Yeah.
Yankees or Mets?
Mets.
Giants or Jets?
Jets.
Favorite New York City pizza spot?
Favorite New York City. Oh, wait. I can't think of the name. We used to go there all the time. It was on First Avenue. Oh, I forgot the name, but it was on First Avenue.
We'll go with Joe's. There's a million Joe's pizzas.
Yeah, Sal's.
Best deli sandwich?
Parisi's. In Little Italy.
Do you miss New York?
A little bit. A little bit.
Harder job, sanitation or driving a dump?
Sanitation.
Biggest difference between New York City and where you are now?
Between New York City and Pennsylvania, I can't get good bread out there. I can't get good bread.
always the
And
bread.
I can't get my ring sausage. I got to come here. I got to go to Staten Island to Pastos's.
How many years you think you've driven total in your career, work-wise?
Work-wise.
Yeah.
Coming up on 50 probably.
So how many miles do you think you've driven? Millions?
One of my dump trucks, I put 1 million miles on it.
Oh, shit.
So that's just a dump truck.
Wow.
In like an 18-year period. I did a lot of driving.
What do you feel is the most dangerous part of the job, sanitation?
Watching out behind that truck. Being behind that hopper.
And here's probably going to give the same answer. Best advice for a young guy coming on sanitation?
Head on a swivel.
Well, describe New York City in one word.
Shithouse.
Describe Pennsylvania in one word.
Glorious state.
You ready?
How about 2 words?
I got one for you.
Oh, boy.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Goodness. Describe myself. Never listen to my wife.
All right. I like that.
I don't like it. I don't listen to her. No way, we can't do that. I can't do that.
No, you can recut it.
She'll kill me.
Again,
She'll kill
ask
me.
it again.
Wait,
I'll cut it out.
Bacon, egg, and cheese or cheesesteak?
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
3 words to best describe yourself.
I am a survivor.
Worst smell you ever experienced?
Maggots.
Who complains more, New Yorkers or Pennsylvanians?
Oh, New Yorkers, without a doubt.
What's tougher, New York winter or New York summer?
New York summer.
And what's your secret for still working after retiring from New York City?
Keep yourself in good shape.
I like that.
Take your vitamins and do all your voodoo. You know what voodoo is? That's all the natural stuff.
Oh, so you're a natural.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I am a junk eater, but I try apple cider vinegar in the morning. My wife makes these shots of garlic, and she's trying to keep me alive.
So shots in the morning.
Shots in the morning, yeah.
All right, to take a few shots in the morning.
Yeah, 2 shots. Yeah, sometimes a little Jack Daniels or do my bourbon.
Thank you, Nicky. I appreciate that.
Nicky, I want to
Thank
say
you.
thank you very much. It was amazing.
Thank you for having me, really.
Great guy. And like I always say, be nice to people. You never know what somebody's going through. Nicky, once again, thank you. And it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you,
again.
everyone.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah. Get a load of this.